A Cummins engine is a beast, but it's also an expensive investment. The fastest way to kill it is by using the wrong green slime from the gas station that eats away at your cylinder liners. I wanted to see what actually meets the strict specs for these diesels, so I bought the top 5 antifreeze options on the market. I checked their formulations and compatibility to see which one will keep your rig running for the long haul. Product number 1, Shell Rotella Nitrite-Free Extended Life. I started with the Shell Rotella ELC. Holding the jug, you know it's from a brand that basically lives in the diesel world. I noticed right away that this is a nitrite-free formula. This is huge if you're running a newer truck with more aluminum components like modern radiators, because nitrites can sometimes eat up aluminum over time. This stuff is pre-diluted 50-50, so when I serviced the truck, I just tipped it right in, no measuring cups needed. It meets the Cummins CES 14439 spec, which gave me total peace of mind. I really liked that it's rated for over 1 million miles for big rigs. If you have a modern diesel and you're paranoid about corrosion in your aluminum heat exchangers, this is the safest, most advanced chemistry you can pour in there. Product number 2, Peak Fleet Charge SCA Precharged. Next, I picked up the Peak Fleet Charge. When I looked at the label, I saw SCA Precharged. That stands for Supplemental Coolant Additives. If you've been around diesels for a while, you know that wet sleeve liners can suffer from cavitation, basically tiny bubbles pitting the metal. This coolant comes preloaded with the chemicals to stop that dead in its tracks. It's a pinkish liquid, and since it's pre-diluted, it was an easy fill. I didn't have to mess around with adding separate SCA bottles during the initial fill, which saves a step. However, you do have to maintain it differently than the extended life stuff. If you run an older rig and you prefer the traditional maintenance routine where you monitor your SCA levels with test strips, this is the classic heavy-duty protector. Product number 3, Zarex Extended Life Red Heavy Duty Pre-Diluted. Then I grabbed the Zarex Extended Life Red. This is probably the one you see most often on forums, and for good reason. It uses organic acid technology oat, which handles the rust and scale protection without needing those constant SCA additives I mentioned earlier. I noticed the bottle specifically lists the Cummins 14603 approval, which is exactly what I look for. Since this is the pre-mixed version, it was super convenient to keep in the truck box for top-offs. I poured it in, and it mixed perfectly with the existing red coolant. It's guaranteed for 3 years or 300,000 miles right out of the bottle. If you want the standard, reliable red coolant that protects your cylinder liners but doesn't require you to play chemist with test strips every oil change, this is the solid, hassle-free choice. Product number 4, Tri-X All-Fleet ELC Concentrate. I also tested the Tri-X All-Fleet ELC. This one felt different. It claims to be compatible with everything regardless of color. I bought the concentrate gallon, so I had to mix it with distilled water myself. When I checked the specs, I saw it includes molybdate, which is fantastic for heat transfer and preventing that liner pitting I talked about. It's rated for a massive 1 million miles on a single fill, which is impressive. I used this to top off a system where I wasn't 100% sure what was already in there, and it didn't turn into sludge or gel up. It plays nice with all radiator metals, including copper and aluminum. If you want a high-performance coolant that acts like a universal donor for your entire fleet of tractors and trucks, this is the heavy hitter. Product number 5, Zarex Extended Life Red Heavy Duty Concentrate. Finally, I went back to Zarex, but this time the concentrate version. Holding this bottle, you can feel the weight difference. It's pure glycol. I grabbed this one specifically because I live in an area that gets bitter cold. With the pre-diluted stuff, you're stuck at a 50-50 mix, but with this, I could mix it 60-40 with distilled water to get protection down to lower temperatures. It has all the same Cummins 14603 approvals as the pre-mixed version, so the protection is identical. I noticed it also has a bittering agent, which is a nice safety touch if you have pets around the garage. If you want to save a little money by adding your own water, or if you need a stronger concentration for extreme winter weather, this is the way to go. So if you want the modern aluminum protection, go with the Shell Rotella, but if you just want the classic red stuff that everyone trusts, the Zarex is hard to beat. I've dropped links to all 5 options in the description so you can grab the right one for your engine. Thanks for watching and keep that diesel running cool.